Okay, this is the last time we left it. Now we are going to make this into, more informational. Okay, so we want information. So the first thing that we are interested in is the line features. Okay, so for the line features, we can again double click in there, and it's easier actually to make it into black first, so we can see everything clearly. Okay, and actually you can make it a bit wider, maybe 35, maybe even 50. Yeah, so now we're talking. So we can see that they are actually pointing into interesting things. Now we can have a look at the database, okay, at the database of this feature. You can have a look at it by right-clicking and then open attribute table. Then you can see all the attributes in it. So you've got the names, you've got the type, okay? So you can see you've got the names in here, and of course you've got the ID, okay, the feature ID. That's the key actually. So the names could be similar. There are toki in here. The types could be similar. There are fracture zones. There are trench, seamount chain, and etc. And there are like the proposer, when the naming happened, who the discoverer were, and etc. Okay, it's very interesting to have a look at this database. So now you can see that these are the names and these are the type. So you want to put the name and the type together. So you want to say, oh, this is East Mariana Ridge. This is Mariana Trough. This is maybe Yap Trench. This is Raicho Fracture Zone. So you want them to be together, okay? So the way to do that is, now you know it, you can close it. And then you can right click and click properties. It's either you double click it or right click and then click properties is the same. Now you want to maybe differentiate the symbols, okay? So you can make it into category. So you can choose style, okay, and then categorize, sorry, I clicked the wrong one. So categorize, and then you can categorize it maybe based on the type first, okay? And the symbol, you can make it, well, firstly, you want to have it in black and 0.5, as same as we had. And then you can classify. So you can see that there are fracture zones, there are ridges, rifts, seamount chain, trenches, and trough. So you can just apply it first and have a look at how it looks. So, oh, okay, this is the trench. Normally, you can put either different colors or different ways of seeing it. So I think you can make it into for example, for the trench you use dotted line, and then you put it maybe dark, and you make it maybe very very bold, maybe 75. You apply it, so that's your trench, for example. And then you can have a look at your ridges. So your ridges, you can make it into maybe just a simple line, but you make it into something like that. Okay, so those are your ridges. And then you want to have, what's the pink one? That's your trough. So for the trough, probably you can have it in black as well, because it's easier to see anyway. And then you can make it into, for example, dash and dots. Okay, so you apply it and then voila. So you've got 3 different types in here. And then for this bits, because we're not going to have a look at it anyway, we'll leave it for now. Okay, so that's okay. Now we've got everything in place. And then another thing, actually, I shouldn't have quit, but now you can actually put a label in it. So you can choose label and show label for this layer, because you want to have, the title and, the name and the type. You can actually click here, okay, click the epsilon, And you actually need to remember the name. So you want name and type. So remember name and type. Click on epsilon. So you want to have it name plus you want to have a space in between, then type. Okay. So actually not that. So probably maybe this. Okay. So the way to make a space is actually one tick, not two ticks, okay? So you can see the output preview is Mariana Rich. So that's right, that's what you want. And then you click OK, and then you apply it, okay? So now you've got your trenches defined, basically, okay? So maybe you want to make it a bit bigger, maybe 12. Yeah, so that's a bit nicer, actually. Okay. Oh, actually, you've got a very little reach in there, so that's interesting. So you want to have it maybe 12 or like 11, for example. Yeah. And then for the placements, maybe you want to have it, you just try, okay, curved, that's nice, okay? Curved is nice. And then we can just leave it for now, just like that, okay? So this looks good already. Now we want to have the data that is points. Okay. Now the points, you know that there's a lot of points in here. And what I normally do is just to add them into the labels. Okay. You don't want to have the points, but if you need it, you can put it. So show the labels. Again, you want to have the name and the type. So you go to epsilon and you put name plus apostrophe and type. So you will have, for example, Boshu C-mount, blah, blah, blah C-mount or editing. So you can apply it and it will look like this. Looks very, very interesting. So for the points, I think it would be okay to leave the point just like that. Maybe make it into one and fill it with black as well, so you can see it clearly. Okay. Maybe 0.5. Yeah. Okay, so that looks good already. Okay. So maybe you want to have this one or not. Yep. So for the polygon, the way I will do it is actually to make the polygon disappear. So you just make it transparent, okay? And then you want just to show your labels. Again, it's the same things. It's the name and type. So just name plus apostrophes and then type. And then okay. And then you apply. And then you will actually have this. So for example, the province, you can put the placement around the centroid, for example. Actually, to do it, we'll need to show them first. So that, okay, so that's the province, that's another province. So just put the label that and then free. Okay, so that looks good already. You can use perimeter as well. Nah, it's okay. So that's better. So use perimeter, and then it will basically draw your basins, draw your interesting stuff, and then you can make everything transparent again. And then okay. Okay, so you've got your map in here. Now we're going to transfer them into an actual map.